Well, I was going to tweet some out today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what my tweet's going to be.
Okay.
You tweet it for me.
To ask you another little something.
I was just going to say, excuse me.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was going to say how thankful I am. I live in paradise. And then report what the weather, what was the temperature today? 81, sunny,
86.
nice breeze.
And I will tweet it for you, so you can save yourself.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful day.
Well, I was
Beautiful
going to
day in paradise. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to ask you something else about recruiting, and just kind of jumping on the fact that obviously Amon, Shaq, and Mike were freshman All-Americans. How much have you guys used that in talking to guys that good freshmen here are going to have their opportunities?
Well, it just proves we're not afraid to play a freshman, and sometimes we're in absolute need to play a freshman. Now, Amon ended up moving ahead of guys that were already here. You know, Shaq moved ahead of some guys that were already here. Pinckney, you know, same thing. So it's not like we're in dire straits at every position, and the only way you're going to play is if there's a hole to fill. But if you can come in and prove that you got a better chance of, you know, playing the way we're going to ask you to play than the guy ahead of you, we're not afraid to you know, play who we think is best. And so whether you're a freshman or a sophomore or junior, senior, whether you're a walk-on, it really doesn't matter to us. But you come in and you're mature enough and you got the talent base, we'll play you, and you may start and be All-American too.
With Amon, just where are the areas for growth in his game you see right now?
Well, just his body. I mean, he's in great shape, and he looks great. But my guess is he'll add some muscle. You know, I would guess between 4 and 8 pounds of muscle for a guy that is already a pretty good sized kid. But I could see bigger guns a year from now, and just a little bit more imposing physically for him, and in so doing, keeping his speed and agility. And he's been, you know, trying to perfect his trade all along, so he'll keep doing that.
Go ahead.
I had a recruit. Do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, well, it's recruiting with wide receiver.
I had recruiting too. Go ahead.
There's been a lot of talk about, you know, wide receiver recruits and all that. Where are you guys at with them? And might you look to a JUCO guy?
We need great receivers. We need guys that can make plays. We need guys that can, you know, have the skill set that we need to get off the jam and catch the ball in traffic, and hopefully enough top-end speed to scare people to back off you on certain routes. And we got to have enough speed on the edges for sure. So I mean, that's a big need. We've got some guys that are pretty good possessional type guys, but we need more guys that can really run.
Are JUCOs an option then, you think?
Anything's an option. JUCO's an option. Graduate transfer is an option. Anybody who we think can come in and be able to function and help us win. Not just function, but make us better.
Mark, from the snaps you've seen from them this year, who among the backup quarterbacks has been most consistent?
Well, Malik's getting most of the reps. So, I mean, there's really not been. I haven't been sitting there and trying to study who's doing the best of those guys, but just the fact that Malik has been getting the majority of the reps lets you know where we think he is on the depth chart. Now, you know, Evan's getting a good many as well. Evan has done a nice job. And then Jack's pretty much been the scout team guy, helping the team win as a scout team quarterback most of the time. So that's where we're at.
Well, I was going to ask, recruiting-wise, I know you want to have balanced classes and all that. Would you prefer to have a few scholarships left over for 2018 so you can sort of get in that direction?
Well, there's two things. We don't want to load the boat to the top and miss a chance at a graduate transfer in the spring, or miss a chance at maybe even a late JUCO who's graduating in May. And then, like you say, if we end up under the number, that allows us to bring in another mid-year enrollee the next year's class. Not only a number, but a mid-year number. And the mid-year number is important because, I mean, this year we may have as many as 10, 11 mid-year guys. And you have to have space in order to bring in a mid-year. So if we had 16 guys that want to be mid-year, we probably wouldn't have enough room for them. So our goal is to not bring in a guy just to bring in a guy, and leave space for that next year's class, or leave space for a graduate transfer, or leave space for a junior college guy who's graduating late. So, but if we nailed everybody that we were looking for, you know, maybe there'd be a space for one or two. If we don't, there may be space for 3 or 4, something like that.
Mark, I know Adrian Colbert, he's had some injuries along the way, but
Yeah, not bad.
your thoughts on him this season
Been
and what
great.
he's added to the team?
Well, he's a great example. You know, him and Marquez Williams, 2 graduate transfers, came in. You know, really ended up starting for us at some time or another. Quez in our 21 package or our pro set, he's our starting fullback, and Colbert has started here and there and been helped on special teams. And those guys they're like gold. You know, they're mature, they're ready to play, and in terms of recruiting, when you talk about even room for graduate transfers, those guys, because they're already graduates, they don't count against next year's number, so to speak. So
and they're very appreciative too, aren't they? They seem.
Oh yeah, They, you know, when guys have been around long enough and been through whatever they were through, either like you look at Pops being at the school he's at, Mars Hill. That's where my son John went. It's an awesome place. And it was a great experience for my son and for Marquez. But you know, Miami's, you know, a different level of football. You know, it was Division II football. This is you know, major D1 ball, and now he's like, wow, this is awesome. I'm loving it. You know, and then you know, Colbert kind of found a new start here and took advantage of it. And I know he's appreciative as well. Okay.
Thank you, Mark.